air pistol is basic event, and firing is very easy in the pistol events. You can see the position of a trigger finger. Correct or incorrect. By using the first finger pad of the trigger finger, pull the trigger straight. With the first finger pad of the trigger finger, you can apply the pressure to the backward straight and create a space between the trigger finger and the pistol. Pressure of trigger weight is divided into first step and second step. The trigger pull is often one of the most difficult elements of competition. When squeezing the trigger, the most important thing to watch is the sight picture. The sight picture is coordinated with the increase of trigger pressure so that there's only a small pressure needed to fire the shot when the aiming area is reached. Trigger pull makes into identical pressure. The pistol has to be held calmly and steadily throughout holding. The first pad of the trigger finger is placed precisely on the trigger. The thumb hold the pistol grip loosely. While aiming, the trigger finger begins to squeeze the trigger carefully. The first step trigger pressure of the trigger weight is taken up as pistol being lowered into the aiming area. The trigger finger pressures directly to the line of arm. The trigger operation is adjusted until the perfect contact with finger is achieved. Trigger pressure is increased when the pistol is lowered to the center of target. Slowly and directly to the backward. There is no pistol movement while trigger pull. The pressure is increased without disturbing the sight picture in the aiming area. Move only the trigger finger while the rest fingers remains motionless. After the shot is fired, the pistol remains aiming at a target. For the follow-through, the arm is lowered 1 or 2 seconds after the shot. In a competition, success depends on a few critical shots, usually the first and the last shot. Sight picture, hold, and trigger operation all seem to be comprehensive and treated simultaneously in a single act of judgment. Releasing the shot is in many ways an indescribable psychological moment in which the entire mind and body blend in a fully coordinated act. So, the internal position is very important. This is sometimes experienced as a curious, complex psychophysical sensation of loss when one intends to pull the trigger, but somehow the trigger finger disobeys and the expected recoil does not occur. The shock of that moment can cause all sorts of brief feelings of panic, accompanied by muscular jerks and changes in vision. In its broadest sense, releasing the shot is the coming together of mind and body in an instant of complete integration. This total blending of mind and body is not unique to shooting. This happens in expert shooters only through internal position. When sight picture, comfortable breathing, relaxed muscles, and sight picture trigger time is judged satisfactory, then the trigger finger must move without disturbing sight alignment. The trigger finger shall apply pulling pressure parallel to the straight line. The trigger finger shall placed on the trigger accurately. Raise the pistol perpendicularly and align the pistol with the aiming area, and start applying pressure to the trigger. For the correct trigger finger operation, uniformly increase the trigger finger pressure backward straight. When applying pressure to the trigger, swiftly apply pressure in the first step and gradually increase pressure to fire the pistol when the elements such as breathing, solid posture, stability, and sight picture are in place. Sudden pulling of trigger will cause the excessive movement of pistol, which in turn cause the bullet to hit the right bottom area of the target. Pushing your finger too much into the trigger may cause the bullet hit the target on the left or at the top. Dry firing training is effective for correcting the faults of shooter, which are hard to find during firing. Dry firing training is effective for acquiring the skills and feel of trigger. You can use a blank target or white wall for the dry firing. Trigger control can be practiced by dry firing in a dry firing area where all the awareness is concentrated on the feeling of pressure on the timing. Blank target can help make correction to habit-accustomed shooter. You can see rear sight, front sight, and target clearly on the blank target. Concentrate on each shot you fire. One shot will determine the winner of a shooting match.